my journey started from being in a school system where my children's progress was rather slow or not as well as I wanted it to be. And I started to realize that there may be a learning challenge that we had not diagnosed. It is at that point I looked for specialist assistance and got an assessor to really delve into why my children's, especially their reading, was slightly delayed compared to their peers. And when an assessment were done, my children were diagnosed with dyslexia. And dyslexia was something that the school at the time was not able to diagnose, nor did not have the adequate skills to deal with. It's a special condition, dyslexia. I call it a superpower because there are benefits and there are challenges of being dyslexic. But the main challenge is where a person has problems deciphering words. They see letters differently. For example, they would confuse their P's and their B's. Their letters will be written the other way around. And it's a spectrum. And perhaps the best way to know if you are dyslexic is to get diagnosed. And so when we got diagnosed, the next challenge for me was, where do I get support to help my children overcome this learning challenge? And the assessor at the time recommended a program that she felt would help my girls. Having no idea how to go about it, I met the director, and she's a wonderful lady who was able to tell me that her program was going to assume that the girls literally, not that they didn't know anything, but we wanted to really assess what they knew and what they didn't know. And her program helped us do that because it literally started us from scratch. Initially, I won't lie, I was very, very worried. Not so much for myself, because I'm a proponent of it doesn't hurt to start from scratch. My biggest concern was how my girls were going to be okay. This is baby work, Mom, we've done this. And I decided to homeschool them. So that was also another added layer. But what I found about Twiga Books was that it doesn't matter where your child is. It's important to start from a blank slate, because we assume that our children have understood key fundamental concepts that will guide them in their future. And if these concepts are missed at this stage, especially if you have a learning difficulty, it will have a large impact on your learning going forward. There will always be some sort of compromise because there's something that you missed. What I did, and through the help of the director, was that we were able to look at what the girls already know, but start from scratch in a way that they didn't even realize it. And therefore, making it fun, making interactive was very important for us. And because of that, the girls didn't see it as quote-unquote baby work. But we were also able to look at the things that they knew, we moved faster, and the things that they didn't know, they were able to understand them as new concepts. And that has really helped us ground, especially for literacy and numeracy. Literacy, the ability for dyslexic children, for example, to understand sound, to be able to differentiate different sounds, and letter recognition was really paramount. But what was special about the Twiga program was that it really is a program for children with dyslexia, in that it uses a lot of manipulatives, and it is not a program where you sit as a teacher and teach a child and they regurgitate the information. So there's no cramming. There's a lot of interaction, and dyslexic children really thrive with colors, numbers, touching, really understanding why things work the way they do. And I'm happy to say, because of Twiga Books now, there is no confusion in terms of vowels and consonants, our primary numbers, counting, and those basics are the fundamentals, the foundations and building blocks of anything that they're going to do.